Welcome back. We are going to talk about combining transformations. All right, let's do a quick recap of all the tools that we've seen so far. We'll start out again with the sine curve. We've got translations, horizontal translations. Take x and you replace x by x minus h. A vertical translation replaces y by y minus k. And that lets us move our function up and down, side to side. Okay, what else have we learned? We've also learned dilations. A horizontal dilation replaces x by x over b. A vertical dilation replaces y by y over a. And now, so this a is doing a vertical dilation, b is doing the horizontal dilation. All right. The goal for today is to put them all together. And it's really not that bad. We have to do both the subtraction and the division at the same time. So we've got this function, y is equal to sine of x. What we're going to do is replace every x by x minus h divided by b, and every y by y minus k divided by a. Okay, you can see that. We've taken every y, we've replaced it by y minus k over a. Every x, replaced it by x minus h over b. And now we can move a and b to change the dilations, and h and k to move things around. So there we go. So now we can move these things around. Let's see, we'll make something, let's make b 1.8, and then we'll go up. And then you can actually see it bounces down, it hits the curve, bounce hits the curve, bounce hits the curve. Yeah, you can play around with that. All right, so let's practice this skills. Let's say we wanted to make this this mountain. So what code is going to create this orange function? All right, so we've got some hints here. Determine the parent function you see. Determine the horizontal and vertical translations. Determine the dilation. And use that general form of the equation from the previous page. So what do I see? I kind of need to move over 2 as a horizontal translation. I need to move up 1 as a vertical translation. I kind of want to reflect downward, so that's changing y to negative y. And then I need to do some kind of decompression. So let's try this out. We had y is equal to the absolute value of x. That's our function. But our rules from the previous page say we should take y and replace it by y minus k divided by a, and replace x by x minus h divided by b. And we put in all these sliders, and I know I want k, so k needs to go up 1 unit, because we wanted 1 vertical step. H needs to go over 2 steps. The vertical thing was negative, so let's make, this one. The vertical thing, that's the A. Let's make that negative 1. Negative 1. And then let's make B skinnier. How can I know if I'm in the right spot? I kind of want, let's see, this one goes through 3. Negative 3. So does this go through negative 3? 1, 2, 3. Looks good. So it looks like these are the right equations. So if I do y minus 1, and I divide by negative 1, and I say that's equal to x minus 2 divided by 0.5, then this is this equation. Let's see if I plug it in here. This equation, interesting. This equation should give us the exact same line that we had. Oops. Should give us the same line that we had right there. There it is. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, so let's say we want to transform a piece of a function. So here's a kind of wacky shape right here. Um, if you look at this, I've put a restriction on here. Here's an interesting function, kind of wacky. Oops, undo, undo. Um, I have restricted it to lie within the circle. X squared plus y squared is less than or equal to 1. Let's just see that for a second. X squared plus y squared is less than or equal to 1. Oops. Right, this is the circle. This is the function without the circle. And we've made the restriction of this function to be inside the circle. Okay, so now let's say we want to move, translate, dilate this shape, reflect it. What we need to do is we need to change every single x to x minus h over b. Change every single y to y minus k over a. And even the points in the restriction. So here's what I'm going to do. I moved this out a little further because I'm going to do a lot of changes and I want to make sure I can see them all at the same time. So when I see a y, I want to make that, oops, I want to make that y minus k divided by, let me do y divided by a, and I'll go into the numerator and say y minus k. So anytime I see a y, I replace it by y minus k over a, y minus k over a, y minus k over a. Okay, so now for x, x minus h, I'm going to put that, I'm going to do x over b, and then change the x to x minus h, and put that in parentheses. Okay, so x became x minus h over b, all in parentheses. And here's the other x. Okay, so now I think I've done it. In every single place, I have y is equal to y minus k over a. Every place I see an x, I have x minus h over b. And now, if I do, I can take my shape and I can make this shape, stretch it or compress it, and I can move it up and down. And so I've taken that shape, and then maybe I want to have it be in an interesting position compared to the other one. So maybe I want to do a reflection like this. Let's stretch it a little bit. Let's keep it the same size. So now I've kind of just made a reflection, and I can either connect it above, or I can decide to connect to overlap them this way, or I can decide to kind of overlap them this way. There's so many ways that you can just put those two functions in relation to each other. All right, so we had one more technique that we had before that we may like to try to use again. So let's look at this function. Here is the w. And what I'd like us to do, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'd like us to make some copies of this w that fill in a pattern. You can see here's another w. And if I zoom out a little bit more, here's another w. If I zoom out a little more, here's another w. I'd like to make a lot of those copies, so I need to dilate, translate, and keep track of all those pieces. Okay, so when you have a function like this and you want to make a copy of it, let's replace all of the y's by y minus k over a, or x minus h over b. And you can see here I've actually made it, instead of y minus k, I've made it y minus k1, because later I'm going to make it y minus k2 or y minus k3, because I want each of them to be a different copy. Okay, so let's now do this. Let's turn this one on, and we want this green one to be, let's see, we want it to be up. We want it to be up here somewhat. We want it to be maybe wider, and we want it to be taller. So each of those things took this original shape and it moved it up, that's the k. It made it 2 times bigger in the x direction and 2 times bigger in the y direction, and then I've got this W shape. Okay, so we want to do that again. We're going to make another copy of this shape with we're going to choose put in all these variables. So why don't you try this out first? You want to move this W so that it fills in this dotted line. Try that out. All right, pause and come back when you've tried it out. Okay, so for me, I want to move it here, and I want to move the H. I want it to be kind of here, and I want to stretch it out all the way to here, and I want to stretch this one out all the way. Oops, no, that's the up and down. And I want to stretch this one out as well by a factor of 4. Awesome. Okay, so there's that one, and we'll do one more. All right, try it yourself. Pause it if necessary. I'm going to maybe look at this and see some patterns. A1 was 2 here. A1 was 2 here. A2 was 4. So maybe A3 is going to be, got to be bigger. H is always 0. B, we want it to be wide. We want it to be even wider, like that. Okay. And we want this to be bigger like that. 8 looks like a good number. We need to move it up. Da 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 da. Okay, so we've made this pattern. Let's say we wanted to create this shape not with 4 curves, but instead with one list equation. To do that, let's look at the pattern of the A's. So in this shape up here, we really have something that looks like y minus 0 divided by 1, and x is x minus 0 divided by 1, right? That didn't change y, or it didn't change x. And we could put that here too. So we haven't changed anything. But the reason why I'm doing that is in this first case, K0 is 0. A0 is 1. H0 is 0. B1 is 1. So if we're looking at this pattern, we would see that the A's have this pattern. A0 is 1. A1 is 2. A2 is 4. A3 is 8. That is, if we look here, what do we have here? A1 is 2. A2 is 4. A3 is 8. That was this pattern. The A's have this pattern. 1, 2, 4, 8. And the B's also have this pattern. 1, 2, 4, 8. And I think I said this before. H1 is 0. H2 is 0. H3 is 0. They're always 0. 0, 0, 0, 0. And then I look at this one. Let's look at the K's. The first K was 0. The next K was 1. The next K was 3. And the next K was 7. Okay, so this pattern is a little bit more complicated. But if you notice this, 1, 2, 4, 8, we're multiplying by 2 each time. And that happens here too. 0, 0, 0, 0, it's 0 all the time. And here we have 0, 1, 3, 7, which looks a lot like 1, 2, 4, 8 if we subtracted 1. 1 minus 0, 1 is 0, 2 minus 1 is 1, 4 minus 1 is 3, 8 minus 1 is 7. So that's telling me that the A's have a pattern, the B's have a pattern, the H's have a pattern, and the K's have a pattern. So now that we have the variables, let's make some lists to replace the variables. So my n numbers go from 0 up to 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. A is 2 to the n, right? 1 is 2 to the 0, 2 is 2 to the 1, 4 is 2 to the 2, 8 is 2 cubed, also B. And also H is always equal to 0, 0 times n. And K is what happens if you take A minus 1, or B minus 1, so 2 to the n minus 1. So you can see these numbers here match with what our list said for A, B, C, A, B, H, and K. So let's activate this. And we can see now that this is making every single one of those colorful curves that we had above. But that's not all. We could do this because we saw this pattern for these 4 items. We could change what n is. Instead of going from 0 to 3, we could go from 0 to 10. And if we zoom out, this pattern has continued for 10 steps and not just 4 steps, which is pretty cool. Okay, so explore this, learn, try to make something yourself, and that's it for today. All right, talk to you later. Bye.